Hello, I'm Ray here and you're watching Moto NZ, and let's talk boots. Not the most exciting topic, but there are so many different kinds of motorcycle out there and even more different types of boot out there. You've got to have the right fit, the right suitability, the right comfort level. It's not easy. Plus you've got to suit that style that you're going for. So let's break down a bunch of the different types of boots that I've had over the years and see what was for what and what you can get. I kicked things off with a Tenere 700 and I went initially for the former Adventure boot. This is a predominantly leather bound machine. It's got a solid sole, toe protection, ankle protection, heel protection, and of course the boot itself goes halfway up your calf muscle. Pretty good for adventure. We're talking gravel roads, average adventure stuff, riding from here to town, long trips, all of that sort of stuff. But if I was ever going to go off-road, I wanted something a bit more protection. So, I mean, the ankle can bend and yeah, just want a bit more. Want a bit more than what this can give me. So when I was going off-road proper, I would have my Fox Comp 5s. I wore these for a long time. I actually got these for motocross and enduro riding, but I used to wear them on the adventure bike if I was going to do some harder stuff, anything more than just a casual gravel road, because we've got the toe protection, heel protection, ankle protection. The boot's slightly higher up the calf muscle, plus there's a bit more restriction in the ankle, so I couldn't roll my ankle, you know, twist and break things down around the ankle quite as easily, and a very, very solid toe, not to mention a big chunky sole. Of course I just wore them out. I got a big split down the side of them after about 8 years of riding in them. So I moved from those into the Fox Motion boot. Now this is definitely more of a motocross boot than anything I've shown you up till now. We've got 4 clips down the side, so lots of adjustability, but and we've got a hinge in the ankle too, which is quite a good setup. It means you can walk around in them a bit more, so whether you're walking around the motocross paddock or on an enduro, that's a good feature. However, the sole is a lot slicker, so if you're going to be walking around in mud, it's going to be a bit more slippery. So that's some options of adventure boot. I've got 2 more to show you. These ones here, Triumph and Alpine Stars got together and did a bit of a collaboration. So you can get the Alpine Stars Corozal on their own, but these particular ones you can get with the Triumph branding on them. Incredibly comfortable, nice chunky sole, decent grip, toe protection, heel protection, ankle protection, a little bit more ankle protection than say the former Adventure boot, 2 buckles and Velcro at the top. Not a hugely high gusset on the boot, but very, very comfortable. I quite like these, but I don't think I'd go motocrossing in them. Definitely a decent adventure boot. So that's the Triumph Alpine Stars Corozal, and if you're a Triumph rider, you can't beat having a Triumph logo on them. And my last boot to show you today is the Falco Durant. These are Italian. Now I was always told if you're going to get some boots, make sure they're Italian, because Italians make boots well. You get a boot from a shoe manufacturer instead of a boot from a motorcycle manufacturer, for example. These have a really chunky sole, good for grip in the mud. We've got toe protection, heel protection, ankle protection. We don't have a hinge. We do have a little bit of flexibility in the ankle for comfort while we're getting around. So it's probably more of an adventure boot than an enduro boot. And 2 clips for added comfort. But they do have a nice solid clip crunch in there, and then Velcro at the top. We've got shin protection as well, so they're quite a nice adventure boot. I like the styling. Nice solid Falco sole, but just check out the amount of grip there. I mean, that's you're gonna have quite a bit of grip on the mud or the gravel or wherever you end up riding, and because they're simple and black, they're easy to clean. So that's the Falco Durant. They've got D3O in them. They're another option for you. So there's some footwear options for you if you ride adventure or just want a decent bit of protection. But if you ride a sport bike like the Street Triple, you might struggle to get the toes of those bikes in under the changer, the switcher, the gear changer. So you're going to want something a little more street orientated. When I very first started riding, I was riding a Tenere, an MT-07, and I used to ride around in these DC high tops. You can't beat them for comfort, but they are going to offer you absolutely no protection if you come off. You're going to grind straight through the toe. You're going to lose probably all the skin on your ankle. You could easily even roll your ankle, break your ankle in these. I actually had a little off where I got sideswiped by a van and it ripped big chunks out of the side of my shoe. So don't do what I did. You do you. If you're going to ride around in these, just know what you're in for. But yeah, you'll wear through the soles on standard street shoes real quick. If you like the look of a standard street shoe though, but you need a little bit more motorcycle ability with them, I've got something for you. So these are Rev'It casual boots. They're a high top boot. They're the Delta H2O. They are decently waterproof. But the thing about these is you've got nice toe protection, like a solid toe. That might even be a steel cap. If it's not, it's just very, very well reinforced. You've got ankle protection up here as well. You've got heel protection. You've got a solid sole, but it still looks like a street shoe. And I really like these because they kind of give off the vibe of being like a racer's boot. So yeah, something you might see in a racing car. So those are the Rev'It Delta H2O, one of my favorite casual riding boots. A solid sole. You got a decent amount of feel through the foot of these, so you can feel what gear you're in and you can feel your brake pedal. So if you like a street shoe, those are one option. I've got another one for you though. The absolute ultimate in street shoe, motorcycle shoe, would have to be these. These are the Style Mutton Kansas sneaker. Lace up, protection in the heel, protection in the toe, protection in the ankle over here. And then the sole, very well used. Definitely a street shoe. You can see that I've worn the right hand pretty much flat. That's from pulling up to a stop and putting my right foot down. But my left is pretty much as worn. These, as much as I really like my Rev'It boots, these have been my most used motorcycle boot because they don't scream motorcycle, do they? I mean, I used to wear them to work. You can see they've got a little bit of a cover there for your levers, but other than that, I used to wear them to work on the motorbike and just wear them around all day. They were fantastic. Still available too. I might have to get another pair. So those are the Style Mutton Kansas sneaker, my number one, my favorite. However, I'm going to be moving into the Rev'It, what did I call them? Delta H2O. Because, I mean, these are newer and not as worn out as the Style Muttons. There's an overview on some boots. My opinion, stay away from street boots. Don't go for standard DCs as much as they are comfortable and they look cool. You've got to get something that's got toe protection, ankle protection, and is made to be worn on a motorcycle. If you're doing anything more than riding around town or around your neighborhood, you're going to need something a little bit bigger than just a shoe, than a casual shoe. If you're going to go off-road, you need a proper boot. I reach over here because it's my Tenere. Of course, you do you. When it comes to what you wear on a motorcycle, it's your call. You just got to know the risks of what could happen if you make the wrong call, I assume. Don't blame anyone else but yourself if you come off in a pair of street shoes and grind your toes away. Don't blame anyone else but yourself if you go hard off-road in a pair of street shoes and roll your ankle and break it. It is what it is. Thank you very much for watching. If you've got any questions, chuck them in the comments box below. Somebody in my last video about the jackets over here said you didn't mention anything about safety ratings. And I didn't mention anything about safety ratings because all that stuff can be found online. And again, it's up to you what you wear on your motorcycle. Just don't blame anyone else if you make the wrong call. Thank you very much. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll catch you in the next one. Hooroo!